what I worry about is how much this is where I get mad at the media for presenting this like, this is Hitler. We're having it notched up to 11 for the past 8 years. And now you've got this, because he was put in, it's almost like that energy has been transferred to Elon now. Because now, did you see the Elon protests? They're protesting Elon. They're literally standing out there with signs that say, arrest Elon Musk.
Listen, I guarantee it's organized. I guarantee it's organized by the same people that are going to lose a shitload of money based on all these discoveries at Doge. There's no way they're not. If you look at what Doge is uncovering, what they're uncovering with this USAID stuff, a lot of that stuff was organizing through NGOs protests. They organized the attempt at getting Trump impeacched.
I thought you were going to say killed.
They organized
like,
the impeachment.
That's come out.
They also USAID spent $50 million on the lab that invented coronavirus.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of money involved in this not working. And when you have a lot of money involved, you're going to have organized protest. When you see protests, we all want to think protests like the 1960s. Yeah, fight the war, man. It's like organic, like peace, love, and hippie shit. But that's not what this is. What this is organized, funded protests where someone is spending a lot of money and they're mobilizing other NGOs. They're using their access to these mailing lists and all these different things. They're putting these things together.
Yeah, but do you think that the average liberal person, do you think that they're going to wake up and come around? Or do you think that they're going to be in like agony for 4 years and be...
What if it works? Like, what if the world gets safer, the country gets safer, the economy improves, and they don't attack civil rights, women's rights, gay rights, all these things that everybody's worried about. And then at the end of it, you realize like, hey, maybe I was wrong.
I mean, that's my question, though. Are they capable of that kind of self-reflection?
Well, we're saying they as if it's like one different, like one kind of person.
No, I mean...
There's so many different people in they.
Agreed. I mean, when I say they, I mean people who have bought into the idea that this person is going to make everything worse and we're going to slip into a fascist technocracy.
Some of them. Some of them are going to slip right into it. Some of them are going to wake up and come around. You know, it's a test. It's a test of character. It's a test of objectivity. It's a test of introspection. There's a lot of things that are going to happen where people are going to have to wonder, like, what was I rooting for? When I was rooting for this progressive liberal government, what was I actually rooting for? Was I rooting for warmongers who were making insane amounts of profit by funding overseas wars?
Yeah.
What was I rooting for? Was I rooting for a basic theft of our tax dollars that's gone to all these like completely useless endeavors that were only set up as ways to pilfer money?
Or the fall of America.
Yeah.
You know, this is a weird thing to like hate your own country so much that you want it to fall, or the dismantling of the kind of West as we know it.
Yeah.
You know, I think there is a feeling that Elon might have saved the West.
Yeah.
I feel like at least he's trying to.
I think he did, but just by buying X.
But isn't it funny that he got forced into it? I think there's like something kind of ironic.
Funny because he was trying to get it at a lower price because he knew that they were bullshitting about the amount of bots.
Well, and then they came out yesterday and now it's profitable.
Yeah.
There was like a whole article about how he turned it around.
Of course it's going to be profitable. He's smarter than you.
He is smarter. He also knows that we are all
tapped in.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't stop it. I've always had a Twitter addiction. It's the thing that replaced my drinking and smoking weed. When I quit that, I went right to Twitter. I was like, Elon knows none of these motherfuckers, even when they go to Blue Sky, they've all got secret accounts and they're lurking on Twitter still, or X still, or whatever.
You can't live in that echo chamber, that Blue Sky echo chamber. You can't even go on there and say there's only two genders. If you go on there and say there's two genders, they ban you immediately.
They were like eating themselves within 2 days over there, though.
But that's what
Thank you for your podcast and the one with President Trump.
Oh, you're welcome.
I thought that was great. And I made the mistake of complimenting you on that page. I said, I really enjoyed the podcast between you and President Trump. Jesus Christ. 8,000 people coming at me. I'm stopping to follow you. You're a nasty person. I hate you.
This is on your page?
On my page.
Yeah, you got to stop reading the comments.
I know. A great man once told me that. The problem is I don't take advice and I don't give advice. But I'm trying, Joe.
I don't give a whole lot of advice. I guess I do sometimes, but only with really important stuff. Like, that's an important one.
Yeah,
you can't fix those, and they will affect the way you think.
Yeah.
They affect the way people behave.
Yep.
They affect your freedom of expression to freely express yourself.
I think it had a great impact on the election.
I think it had an impact
because it showed Mr. Trump as a regular guy,
as a human.
It humanized him.
Yeah. Well, he also was right about a lot of shit.
Yep.
The fact that he called the problem with the LA fires months before they happened was literally saying what they needed to do, what they're doing wrong, and then boom, 2 times the size of Manhattan is gone.
Yep.
It's so crazy when you see it live, or from above, like on video, when they do the drone sweeps over it. Fucking, like a bomb went off, like a fucking nuclear bomb hit that part of the state. It's nuts.
Well, maybe they can rebuild it after they rebuild Hawaii and North Carolina and take care of some of those guys.
This is from the U.S. State Department, which is in control of managing all of the media assets, those 90% of media assets in Ukraine and the ones that simultaneously operate here. I would offer that Burisma's incentive to support could plausibly read, the main objective of Burisma was to create incentives for journalists to offer sympathetic coverage.
Wow. Main objective of Burisma. The main objective. And it's an energy corporation.
Yes. Humanitarian aid. This is a for-profit company that's directly tied.
Such a wild statement. The main objective of Burisma was to create incentives for journalists to offer sympathetic coverage of the company on energy issues.
Yes.
Wow.
Right. They want to pitch it as a sort of patriotic, pro-Western.
They bought the media.
They bought the media. They bought USAID and the National Endowment for Democracy. Now USAID is, a very notorious. It's sort of a switch player. There's no aid in USAID, by the way. That's your brain is being tricked when you see the phrase USAID. It's not an aid organization. The aid in USAID stands for U.S. Agency for International Development. It is developing internationally around the world all of the institutions that the State Department needs to use. So when they are capacity building activist groups in a foreign country, that's because the State Department wants those activists there. Now, USAID, for the first time in its history, it was created in the early 1960s by JFK, 1961. It was created because you had all of this intelligence, statecraft, and military support and logistical aid that was tripping over itself, basically. The military would be funding, would be running aid to certain groups in the region. The State Department would be running aid to certain groups in the region. The intelligence community would, and there was no sort of central coordinator of those capacity building operations. So USAID, by the way, is a $50 billion budget. The entirety of the intelligence community is only $72 billion. So it is more than the CIA and more than the State Department.
Wow.
And aid is basically USAID is effectively a switch player to assist the Pentagon with on the national security front, to assist the State Department on the national interest front, or to assist the intelligence community on a sort of clandestine.
So all of our early presidents, all of them live by the Bible. Every single one of them. They wrote about it. They studied it. 1778, one of the first acts of a Congress was to print a Bible for everybody. So I brought you, this is done by a group called the Wall Builders. And David Barton, he has these are the receipts. So it's a Bible, but it has 3/4 of that book is writings by our early presidents, all the way up through Reagan. And this David Barton guy, he has all of these originals. I think he lives in Alito, Texas. And it shows you what our code was in the early days up until the 60s. And that's when, we got this big argument about, we can't have, the First Amendment is the right to establish a religion. And that has been perverted throughout the years to say, well, you can't have the Bible in schools, and the government can't tell you to do this, and you can't be talking about. The Hall of Congress used to be a church. I mean, that's how we started. And you don't have to necessarily be a believer or saved by Jesus just to understand where we came from and the basic tenets of law, where those guys created it from. The receipts are in the Declaration of Independence, our Bill of Rights, our amendments.
What do you think about shit coins? Like, what's your take on like Haktua coin, and Melania coin, and
those are more meme
coin.
more meme coins.
Shit coins, right? Isn't that what a meme coin is?
So the only coin I believe in is Bitcoin, and we've talked about this before.
Right.
In fact, I looked it up, hoping you would bring it up. 2 years ago, when I was here the last time, Bitcoin was around $40,000. Today, it's close to $100,000. This will continue to go up until we're long gone. It's very interesting. So I don't believe in shit coins at all, because if you have Bitcoin has no CEO, there's no one in charge of it. It's literally tens of thousands of people around the world who run these nodes that make it open and make it run and keep it at this 21 million coin limit.
I'm totally down with Bitcoin.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Good.
But I think the shitcoin thing is fascinating, that anybody can create a coin.
Yeah.
Like Jamie has a pull it up Jamie coin. I don't know if you know that.
Well, but you.
I did not make it. Don't put that on me.
You
do not.
It's out there now.
I mean,
now that you just said it, said it,
no.
because we brought it up yesterday with the Boneyard guy, with John Reeves, and we said, you should have your own coin. Get it the Boneyard coin. And now apparently somebody made one.
So this is, you bring this up in context of scams, because they are scams. The way it works.
Trouble.
So if I wanted to make a quick amount of money, I'd have a shit coin, and I'd have my bots ready, and I'd say, hey, Joe, have you heard about my curry coin? And you'd be like, no, wait a minute. And it would come out, and it would skyrocket. My bots would sell it. I would make a lot of money, and it would be dumped right away. It's a scam over and over and over
But what
again.
if you don't sell it?
Yeah, then you'll have empty bits worth nothing.
But so it's only available for pump and dumps.
That's the only thing it's good for. It's not good for anything else.